Hi, welcome to the Bookish Quilter, where we talk about quilts and we talk about books. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to start our block of the month. This is the first block we'll be doing. I'm going to have the cutting directions in the description box below, but I'm going to go over it with you right now. The block finishes at 12.5 inches or 12-inch finish size. It takes 2 fabrics, and I'm calling the print fabric here fabric A. You're going to cut one 4.5-inch square of fabric A, 2 5-inch squares of fabric A, and 8 2.5-inch squares of fabric A. From fabric B, you're going to cut 2 5-inch squares and 8 2.5-inch squares. And I'm going to show you how I construct the blocks. To construct the block, you're going to take your 5-inch A and B squares, layer them right sides together, as I did here, draw a diagonal line from corner to corner, and sew a 1/4 inch from each side of that line. Here's the line on this side, but you can't see the stitching. But then you're going to cut on the line. Don't open it up or press yet. You're going to trim them down to 4.5-inch square. I'm going to use my magic cutting tool, which is I take a 4.5-inch square of paper. I cut it in half diagonally and tape it so the 90-degree angle of the paper lines up with the 90-degree angle of my ruler. I then line up the edge of the paper with my seam line and trim any excess fabric. That will give me a 4.5-inch square. I then press it open and press to the dark side. I'm going to do that to both pairs of fabric, so I wind up with 4 half-square triangle units for my block. The half-square triangle units go in the corner of the block with A fabric pointing out. I then take my 2.5-inch squares and sew them together into 4 patches. And you'll notice the way the fabrics run. Your A 4.5-inch square goes in the center. And when you join your rows, these seam allowances are going to go out. This is going to go in, and these are going to go out. I like to press towards the block that has the fewer seams. For example, there's no seams on this row here, but there's one here, so it's going to go this way. Same thing here. I have a seam here, but none here, so it's going to go this way. So out, in, out. And that is your block. Now, if you want to make a whole quilt from this, instead of making just one block and doing like a sampler quilt from your block of the month, I did a digital layout for you to see what it's going to look like. And I'm going to do this for each quilt that for each block, excuse me, that I feature. Some of them have very nice secondary designs that show up when you put the blocks together. And I thought that would be something some of you might be interested in doing. The book I'm going to talk about today is Daniel Deronda by George Eliot, which is the pen name of Marianne Evans, a Victorian British author. It was written in 1870, and in many ways it's a very modern novel in the social issues that are discussed in the novel. Women's rights, women's place in society, identity, class, discrimination, anti-Semitism. It just is a really good book about several young people making their way in the world. And there's a lot of surprises, so I don't really want to say too much. It's a large book. It's 800 something pages, I believe. But I really enjoyed it. I had never read anything else by George Eliot, and even though it's not her most famous book, I thought it was phenomenal. So stay tuned for the next block, and stay tuned for other videos. I will be doing other videos too. The next block is going to be on the 15th of the month. I got a little bit of a late start this month because of Easter and having some long arming I had to finish in a hurry for a customer. But I'm going to post each block on the 15th of the month, and I'll be doing other videos basically once a week or so. That will be my usual tutorial type techniques, maybe even simple patterns. And just a word about this pattern behind me. This is another pattern that I do have a PDF available for, and I will have the link to that. And it's called Living a Charmed Life. This is a lap size quilt. It measures, I believe, 51 inches square, and it takes one charm pack. It's a multi-size. The pattern is multi-size. I give directions for this: twin size, a full queen size, and a king size. Now the king size can be made from either 4 charm packs or 1 layer cake that you cut into 4 and 5-inch squares. I hope you'll like, subscribe, click the bell to be notified when I post another video, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.